Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Sunday, the 15th of March, 2026, and welcome to day 21 of 30 days of real estate content. My name is John Olisa, and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. Over the last 20 days, I have been sharing valuable content on real estate in Nigeria. I've shared so much on the different ways to make money in real estate in Nigeria, about 12 of them, from property brokerage to short-let brokerage to yearly residential rental to short-let business to real estate investment trust. I have shared on off-plan property development. I have shared on property consultancy, property media, property technology. I've also shared on property development, and quite a few others. After that, I also shared about 10 land titles, valid land titles in Nigeria, and I've also shared on how not to lose money in Nigeria, which basically is how not to be scammed in real estate in Nigeria. Some days ago, starting on how not to be scammed in Nigeria, I shared my thoughts on 6 real estate scams in Nigeria that cut across property purchase, whether it's land or house, to rental scams to short-let scams. I also shared how to avoid those scams, especially by doing a real estate property search. Yesterday, I started part 1 of a new um, a new series, which is just a 2-part series. Today is the last day of 5 things you must do before you buy any property in Nigeria. I stated yesterday that you need to know the purpose for your purchase. I said purpose precedes purchase. Purpose precedes purchase. So, what you want to buy for, the reason why you want to buy, will determine your location and so many other things. Purpose precedes purchase. That was the first thing I shared. I also shared that the next thing you do after determining the purpose is to now choose a location based on the purpose, whether you want to do for short-term investment, mid-term investment, or long-term investment. It will now determine what the kind of location that will be suitable for your real estate purpose, whether it's off-plan, whether it's yearly rentals, whether it's short-let, whether it's a property development. And the third thing I spoke about is getting a trusted property broker. And I told you the benefit of getting a trusted property broker, stating more specifically some of the skills a trusted property broker should have, such as strong communication and negotiation skills, in-depth knowledge of the real estate industry, integrity and communication, as well as one other. And everything I've shared over the last 21 days is available on my YouTube channel, John Olisa YouTube. So kindly like, subscribe, comment on the videos, and they're still available here on Facebook. If there's one thing I will tell you, is that by following me, I will add so much value to you in the real estate industry in Nigeria. So today I'll be continuing on part 2 of 5 things you should do before buying any property in Nigeria. So firstly, you've determined the purpose for which you're doing your real estate investment. So whether you're doing it for short term, you want to start getting immediate returns and you want to do things like short-let or yearly rental, whether you need it for medium term, maybe 1 to 2 years. I spoke about off-plan being ideal, or you want it for long term, 5 years and above, that's land banking and the likes. So you've done that, you've already chosen your right location, whether it's in a fully developed area or pre-developed area or underdeveloped area. You've done all that. You've gotten your broker, and the broker is now leading you. Now you've done those 3 things. What is the 4th thing you need to do before buying a property? As I said yesterday, buying a property is likely going to be your biggest financial decision that you ever make. Yes, buying a property is not like buying a drink or buying just food. It's a financially demanding decision that you don't want to take casually. So the next thing you need to do now is to conduct a legal search. I stated it some days ago, but I'm going to now reiterate it much more importantly. I will define a legal search as carrying out like an investigation on the land or the house you want to buy through the land registry, basically, in order to get all the necessary information that will help you to make a decision whether to proceed with the purchase or not. A legal search, which is usually carried out by a lawyer, will show you if there are any encumbrances on the land. Is there any outstanding land? Is there any outstanding ground rent? Is there a mortgage on it? You just want to know that. Is there a court dispute on it? That land search will help you do all of that. A lawyer will help you do it, and it will give you all the information you need about the land, to show you the survey plan, the beacons, and the likes. And other places you might want to do a search just to further confirm. It's possible to do a search at the Office of the Surveyor General, can do a search at the Office of the Corporate Affairs Commission, especially where the seller you're buying from is a company. The search at the CAC, you want to know whether the company has the power to deal in real estate, to sell land. You want to do a search at the court registry. You want to know if there's any ongoing case on that land. Because ideally, when there's a matter going on a case, transactions should not be done over such land, because the matter is in court, and until there's a final judgment, transactions should not be done. You also want to go to the probate registry if the land is a product of a demised person passing it on to people, beneficiaries. You want to get as much information as necessary from the probate registry. So it's very important that you do that search. It's very important that you do that search at the land registry, or these places are called the probate registry, the Corporate Affairs Commission registry, the court registry. So that's very important. And what's the last thing you do before buying a land? Before buying a land or a property in general, is now to do a physical inspection. A physical inspection of the land. Yes, it's very important to do a physical inspection of the land or property, because it will reveal to you some things that your search at the registry did not show. So a physical inspection, for one, will show you the nature of the land, the physical nature. A search at the land registry will not show you whether there's erosion on the land, right? Will not show you whether there's some encroachment on the land. It is when you get to the land or the house, you can now see all that. A search on the an inspection on the land will show you whether there are government utilities. Are there power lines passing through the line? You want to know that. Are there electricity poles? Because if you have that passing through the land you want to buy, you know you're already breaching the laws. There's like a minimum distance that must be between power lines and properties. You're buying a property under a power line. You're just setting yourself up for future demolition of that land. So it's a physical inspection that you will want to do. It's a physical inspection that you will want to do, and it will reveal that. A physical inspection will also reveal things like the road network. Yes, a search at the land registry will not do that, but when you get there, you know the road network. Is it good? You have a feel of the environment. You know from a physical search whether there's good water. You know the power supply at the property. Is it band A? Is it band C? Is it band B? Is it band D? You can ask questions from the locals. You can have a feel of security in that area. Is it a gated community? Is it open? These are things that when you do that inspection, your eyes will be open to. And you might not just want to do it alone. You might want to go with a trusted real estate professional, because they also know some things you may not be able to see. If you are buying an already built building, you want to go with a structural engineer, they'll be able to look at the structure and they see cracks. Cracks are telling you a message. So it's very important that you know that. So these are the things you need to do before buying a property. And extra, let me just give you some things that you now do at the point of buying a property. One is making payment. When you're making payment, I will just say this is very important that you do not pay cash. It's very important that you pay into an account so as to have records. Or if you insist you want to, it's not advisable to pay cash. It's not advisable to pay cash. You should pay into an account for records. So you pay into the account, you transfer. When I say pay into the account, you transfer from your own account to the account of the seller so that you have that your own receipt. The seller should still give you a receipt. But if for whatever reason there's an issue tomorrow, you have your own trail of transactions to show. So that's one advantage over not paying cash. If you pay in cash and the seller denies it, what do you do? So it's always very important that you pay from your account. Let there be a transfer. Once there's that transfer, then let there now be a change of ownership. So these are now things you do now that you have bought a property. Let there be a change of ownership. Ideally, if it's not, yes, because ideally it will not be a first time purchase from the government allocating you land. It will be from somebody who owns the land or property transferring it to you. Usually the document used to transfer ownership is a deed of assignment. So that deed of assignment should be prepared. And when it is prepared, you need to get your lawyer to review it to see whether you are okay with the terms. So it's very important that the document transferring ownership to you be done, deed of assignment, a fee is applicable to it. And after doing that, now that you've bought the property, there's still so much more. But another thing I will say now is go and register that document of transfer that you've gotten. Go and register that document of transfer that you have gotten with the government in the land registry, because you need to get the governor's consent. Or if you're in the FCT, the consent of the minister. Because the position of the law is every transfer of property from a new owner, from a former owner to a new owner, needs to have the consent of the governor, or in the FCT, the consent of the minister. So you want to go and register it at the land registry. It's very good you have that registered document, so that if there is a situation whereby the person who sold to you has fraudulently sold to others and there's not a dispute, the law is that the person whose document is registered first will have priority over these others. So even if somebody had bought before you but did not register their document, you that registered will have priority over them. So that's why it's very important that you register your document at the land registry. Get the governor's consent. It could take a period of time, but it's very important that you get that. So in summary, here are the 5 things to do before buying a property. Determine the purpose for which you are buying it. 1. Number 2, choose the ideal location. Number 3, get a trusted property broker. Number 4, do a thorough property search at the land registry or other places I've stated. Number 5, do an inspection. And you've cleared everything meets up with your predetermined outcomes, then you now proceed to making payment. And as I said, it's advisable that you do payment by bank transfer, so you can have your proof of payment and you have your receipt. And the next one is have the document of transfer, transferring ownership from the seller to you. And once you get that, you go and register it at the land registry. So that's basically some of the things you need to do before buying the property, and the 3 extra I told you on what to do when you have bought the property or you're in the process of completing the purchase of the property. My name is John Olis and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. We're a property development company. We do quite a lot of the property development, brokerage, consultancy and the likes. But I'm bringing to you now our property development project in Kuchiako, in our first estate, Genesis Court. And you have the opportunity to build your own property in that estate. With 200 square meters going for 1.5 million, you can build a 3-bedroom terrace duplex. With 300 square meters going for 2.2 million, you can build a 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex. With 400 square meters going for 3 million, you can build a 5-bedroom, fully detached duplex. While with 1,000 square meters going for 7 million, you can build a block of flats, 6 unit block of flat, consisting of 2 units each of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. And you can contact me on +234 813 799 0792 +234 813 799 0792 for more information, for more inquiries you might want to make. You might also want to send me an email at reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. So that is it. Thank you so very much for joining me today in getting so much value on real estate. Remember, the most important thing to do before going into an investment is not just to put money first, but first to acquire knowledge about it. Because the more you know about an investment, the higher the likelihood for your success and the lower the likelihood of your failure. By God's grace, tomorrow we'll continue with day 22, where I'll share with you another aspect of real estate in Nigeria that can add so much value to you. So thank you so very much for joining me today. Have a blessed week ahead. And for those of you who could not join, my video of today is going to be on my YouTube page, John Onisa. So please watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.